talk the shit that you guys talk.
Okay.
You would not allow somebody to go on YouTube or anywhere, live TV or not, to say the things that you have said. You would not like how somebody would go on there and use your little girl's names to make money. Okay, so just take that into consideration. You know, Andrew, I'm not going to be an asshole tonight. I'm just laying it out there, you know. Life, whatever you get thrown at life, you have to just run with it sometimes.
I ain't saying nothing. I'm listening.
You know, do I feel bad for Don? Do I feel bad for Candace? You know, do I feel bad for Allison? You know, do I feel bad for Hunter? I feel bad for all of them.
I don't.
Because they lost somebody that was very special to them.
Why would I feel bad for my kid?
Hello, Beth Ann.
He's a
Welcome.
fucking prick. And I tell him that to his fucking face every day.
You know, I've seen pictures of that little girl, and she was so bright, vibrant, full of life.
Oh, it says we are.
Why wouldn't you as a parent, and I'm not just saying specifically you, you know, Andrew or whatever, it's all of us as parents, okay? How would we feel as parents knowing that our child was full of life like that, vibrant, always smiling, always playing, and then all of a sudden,
oh my God,
poof, it was gone. Like that. And no answers.
Well,
no answers,
life,
you know, a lot of questions, but no true answers.
Again, that's life. Shit happens.
You know, you go on there and you mock, you mock PG, which, okay, hey, you know, I get some laughs out of it sometimes because, you know, a little bit. It is funny. It is kind of funny, you know, when you're a streamer because, you know, you get her going, she gets you going. You know, maybe that's what this is, you know, maybe that's what it's about, you know. But what it comes down to, honestly, I mean, there's a lot of people on this YouTube channel and television or whatever that, you know, really look out for the children. I mean, eventually everything's going to have to come out in the open. You know, it really does.
I'll say it how it is. The fuck?
Who's this J Love guy? I hate ghetto white girls. Well, if you don't like ghetto white girls, you might want to get off my live then. How about that? Don't worry, I got moderators on there to take care of your ass.
Aw, I'm fucking crying.
But it does. It comes down to a little girl.
Too bad my channel's not louder.
Andrew, I'm sure you're restreaming me or whatever.
You
know, I don't care. I don't care. Because like I said, it's not about the hatred between you and I or the dislikes between you and I.
Hatred?
You know what?
I'm
a grown ass man.
Young man.
You know, I don't need to sit there and go back.
Hatred
and forth
is a very, very strong word. See, I don't hate you.
I don't get too.
I fucking loathe your existence. There's a difference.
You know, your minions, your little trolls or whatever, because, you know, that's what they are. They're trolls. They're trolling other people's lives for you to restream or give you information. I don't care. I don't care. Like I said, tonight is about what we're going to talk about now. And that's that little girl. You know, so you got to put yourself in that situation. You got to put yourself to where if you got that call, you know, just for example, you're away on work, you know, you're out of town, you're out of state, whatever the case may be. And your wife is, you know, calls you and says that something happened to your little girl. What would you do?
Call my brother, call my mother, call my sister.
You know, what would you do?
I shouldn't be.
Somebody get rid of this J Love.
Can you stop fucking yelling? I shouldn't.
And I'm sure it's one of Andrew's people, and I don't really care. You know, because I know Andrew's restreaming me, and I hope he hears it.
J Love.
But what would you do?
J Love. All right, we should have volume.
I know what I would do. Any right person in their right mind when it comes to a child would definitely know what to do.
All right, can we hear me?
You would go above and beyond to find your child, regardless of what rock you had to turn.
I'm good.
No matter what tree you had to cut down, no matter what ditch you had to look in, no matter what culvert pipe you had to crawl your ass in, you would definitely try to look for your little girl.
I put grad water, some grad water.
I would be the same way.
Put grad water?
Yes, we are by far, all of us are not perfect parents. I never claimed to be. Was I the best father that I could be to my children? Absolutely. Absolutely. Whatever road they chose to go down after that, after they hit that age, they go down. We can't stop that.
Why does Grandma need that?
We cannot stop that. You know?
Trina needs it.
I've been down that road. You've been down that road. She's been down that road. I mean, we've all been down that road, you know, but we have to be better.
What do you say?
For the younger ones, for the younger children, you know. So when it comes to that little girl, that should be the concern. You know, I believe if everybody, you know, and it probably won't happen, but I think if everybody just put the bullshit aside,
no, never gonna happen,
and brought all their heads together.
I don't fucking like people.
And worked on that case, you know. You're very right, A1. I would not give up until I found my child. And it wouldn't matter. I'm the same way. I wouldn't give up until I found my child, whether or not my child was still alive or passed on. You know, but I would still want answers, you know.
Yeah. No, I'm changing fish names. Yeah.
You know, so we try to show our children what not to do.
No, I show my kids everything. What not to do, what to do, all of it.
You know, let's try to show them the right road to go down. You know, when you come to that wide road, okay, well, if you go left, it's like being on, you know, the devil sitting on your shoulder. You got the devil sitting on your left shoulder, and then you got the angels, you know, the whatever on your right, the white, you know, the angel, devil angel.
Now,
you know, and then you got, you know, the angels in your right ear, you know.
Oh, I'm losing this tank.
Saying, okay, well, you know, we got to do it this way and that, but then you got the little red little fucker over here, which I believe, yeah. Then you got the little red fucker over here talking, no, you don't want to do that. You're going to go down this way because this way is so much better. But we're the ones that have to be the ones to tell our children.
What ain't?
No, you have to make the right road. Yes, we have to let them make the mistakes, but we also want them to learn from their mistakes. You know. You know. So, like, with that being said, you know, like I said, Andrew, you know, I mean, you did. I did see a live with that. You know, that Hunter told you everything that happened 3 days after it. You know, you can't. I mean, you can't tell people that no, you never said it or anything like that. I read it with my own 2 ears. But it is what it is. It's sad that this little girl hasn't been found. You know, it's very, very sad. You know, and another thing is, you know, it's like, why do, you know, it's like, what do you get at wishing death on people?
You're fucking enjoying it.
I mean, I understand that you do it for fun. You tell everybody
that. Leave the fish alone.
Fine.
But you can't.
He eats one of your fish. I'm laughing.
One I'm gonna say thank God.
Mr. Man.
He's one of them fucking fish.
My freedom.
They're not food.
Fish are fruit, not food.
Hunter told him, and I probably told him too. Yeah, that's, you know, I mean, everybody's got guilt when it comes to certain shit, Connie. I agree with that.
No, I'm not.
And, you know, and just like A1 said, you know, lead by
Go
example.
that way.
I mean, that's,
Jeremy?
you know,
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna because you're out here.
but it does. It comes down to this little girl,
No.
you know.
I love you.
By
the way, did you know fish are friends?
But like I said, you know, if everybody, you know, if all the bullshit wasn't here,
All right,
you know,
you ready?
and like I was saying to you before, Andrew, let me get off that for a minute. Let me get back on this one.
You sing, my bud.
I just don't get, I can't, I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around it. Like why you would wish death on somebody.
Because I fucking can, and it's
I mean-
enjoyable. I want to see the world
Does your life
big.
suck that bad to where you got to wish death on people?
All right, watch your six, kid.
I mean, would you feel okay for somebody to wish death on, you know, somebody that you care about?
Pretty much. I'm all right with it.
You know, would you want somebody to wish death on your wife? You know, if your wife was going in for whatever kind of surgery and there was a chance of her not coming out of it, you know, would you know, before that surgery happened, would you be okay with somebody telling you, oh, well, I wish death on your wife? Andrew, I know you a little bit better than that, you know. I don't think you would.
Death on my wife.
All due honesty. I truly don't. You know, it'd be no different, you know, if it was your child, you know, and
Death upon them every day.
I know a lot of different, you know, I know a lot of things, you know, about, you know, the kids and stuff. I would never wish death on somebody's child. I would never wish death on somebody's significant other, regardless of what it was for. If it was for a kidney, a liver, a fucking heart, doesn't matter. You know, I wouldn't want to wish death on them. All due honesty, you know, I would want them to live a long, prosperous life. Hey, if I could, listen, if I could, you know, if I could give a kidney, you know, to somebody to save them to where they have another 5, 10, 15 more years on this earth with their family and their loved ones. And if they have grandchildren, or even just young children, I would love that opportunity to do that. Hi, Nada. You know, and I mean, I believe you would too, you know, all due honesty, you know. I just don't understand how it got to this, you know. Yeah, maybe you're thick-headed, I'm thick-headed, but I'm a little bit thick-headed, okay? My head's a little bit thicker. I've been around the block multiple times. I know how to play the game.
Make sure your alarms are set.
I'm not threatening you. I'm not causing you bodily harm, you know.
I'm getting up at 6.
Just one day, I mean, you and I will run into each other, and we're gonna see what's up. That's what's gonna happen. You know, I don't care who's around. I'm not afraid to go to jail per se. Okay, you should know that by now. You know, you wish somebody to fall off a 100-foot bridge and fall into a pile of rocks. Come on, really? Come on, be a bigger person than that. Because you weren't always that way, Andrew. When I first met you, you weren't that way. Okay, you can really learn a lot in the 18 months, 2 years that I knew you. Okay. Body language is a big thing. Even the multiple lives that you and I've been in many times, late at night, during the day, me doing them with you before I go to work. You know, you have to admit that, you know, I'm not being a dick, you know. I know everybody thinks I'm a dick. Maybe I'm an asshole. Maybe I am a dick. I don't know. It is what it is. Apple did fall far from the tree, okay? Just like my grandfather, just a miniature version. God knows that he's up there watching me. You know, who's watching that little girl? Who knows where that little girl is? You know, that's the question. That's the question. Where's that little girl? Okay. Everybody comes on here. or not, I can't, no, let me rephrase myself. It's not everybody. I can't say everybody. Certain people go on YouTube and say that they have a Amazon wish list. Okay. It might be for a cigarette machine. It might be for the keyboard. It might be for a mouse, trackball, a game, headphones. That's fine and dandy. That's fine and dandy. But you want to know what my wish list is? Okay. People can take this for what they want. Okay. My wish list. I'm going to put out a wish list for everybody to see. Item number 1. I want a 33-gallon canary yellow tote. I want 2 rolls of duct tape.
Really?
I want a roll of black plastic.
Wow, planning somebody's murder? I'm alive? Damn, boy. That's great.
And a couple bags of 80-pound concrete.
See? Cody, planning somebody.
So there's my wish list. Everybody heard it.
Yeah. Cool.
So with that wish
I'm a
list,
big fan.
you can take it as you will. Okay? You can think the bad things. What's up, Cattle King? You can think the bad things when I put out that wish list. But I might be I might be putting stuff down for a deck.
Yeah. Because we're retarded.
The black plastic could be used as a weed barrier.
Sure.
The duct tape is to tape it against the house. That way nothing grows up on that side
Good
of the
excuse,
house.
buddy. Good fucking.
Concrete is for the posts. The tote is to keep all the hangers and everything in for the deck, for the lumber, and my screws. So you see where I'm getting with this?
No, I don't.
When you come out with a wish list, you want a wish list. Do stuff that's going to benefit you.
Hang on, guys.
Definitely not headphones. Definitely not a keyboard. Definitely not a mouse. Definitely not a cigarette machine. Okay? Ask for a little bit more important things. Yeah, I understand that times get rough, times get hard. There's a lot of jobs out there, but a lot of places aren't hiring. I get that. I'm fortunate, I can, my work is seasonal. Rogue keeps on bringing it up. Why am I working? Doesn't matter why I'm not working. I'm seasonal. If I have a shitty day, just because it doesn't rain here doesn't mean it's not raining where I have jobs. Okay. I have a roof over my head. I have food. My animals are taken care of. I can do what I want. I do my programs. I can take care of myself. I can take care of my animals. What is your excuse, Andrew? Seriously, what is your excuse? Yeah, Cattle King, he's probably restreaming me, which is fine. Hello, Pam. Thank you for joining. It's all right, Cattle King. He can restream me. Listen, this is an easygoing live tonight. I'm not being a dick by any means.
I do it all.
I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around it. Why certain ones got to be the way they are. You got Dippy Doo on there, thinking that she runs a dog rescue. Well, more or less what you're running, my dear, is a puppy mill, because they're all your dogs. They're just inbreds, unfortunately. God forbid, God help those animals, because they're going to end up being probably put down or whatever the case may be. No animal deserves that. I like to know how you're taking care of them all anyway, because, usually a legit rescue will get donations and volunteers, and you can hook up with local shelters. And the thing is, I knew somebody who worked for Sam's Club, and it got to a point to where they were donating big garbage cans full of dog food and cat litter that was open bags, because they couldn't sell it on the shelf. So they would put it to the side, and they would call the local shelters and tell them to come get the food, but those are licensed shelters.
Don't worry, guys. You're getting more water.
So how Dippy can run a rescue is beyond me. For one, she needs a 501c. Which if she is a rescue, she knows all about that. Are they in proper kennels? Do they have proper shelter? A 2-bedroom trailer, that's not proper shelter, not unless you made one room into just a dog room, which I don't think she did, because I believe she has kids too, right? So I can just imagine what that house looks like and how that house smells. And then you got Ro. I don't even know how it started with Ro, honestly, which I don't care. She doesn't affect me at all. What she says that comes out of her mouth to me is blah, 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 blah. No, I believe that's not asking that question. Did he ever get the panda goldfish he got on his Amazon? I don't know. I'm not quite sure, Nada. It's like the Ro thing. I don't know. I don't get that woman. Seriously. You can barely understand a word. She can't spell worth of shit. Half the time when she talks, and she talks so fast that Hey Munch is a wish list, same as a hit list. Cattle King, I don't know. I mean, we got to watch what we say. We don't want anybody to take it the wrong way. But the Ro thing, I don't get it. Yeah, she is. She's a lunatic on the loose. Let her be that though. Honestly. She goes on there and she talks about Tammy being fat and Haley being fat and Mama Bear being fat, and fucking Act Right being fat. How do you know that these women are fat? Have you seen them in person? Okay. Have you seen each one of these women in person? Okay. You don't have no right to talk about anything to begin with, honestly. You should really look in the mirror about yourself. Okay. You should really sit back and, hello, are you on the proper medication? Did you fall off the stupid tree? Huh? Did you fall down the stupid tree and hit every fucking branch on the way down? Because seriously, some of the stuff that comes out of your mouth is unreal. Like, if I was your father or mother, I'd be ashamed to call you my kid, to be honest with you. Know everything about everybody. Ro, you feed off of Andrew's live. You know, he brings you up on panel or whatever the case may be. You know, I don't know if Andrew thinks that you are his pit bull. You know what I mean? I don't know this. You know, that's the feeling that I get, that he brings you up to be his pit bull. What are you, his fucking spokesperson? I mean, this ain't fucking politics, honey. Okay? By all means, this is definitely not politics. This is just straight up bullshit. If you want to be, you know, I mean, do you really pay attention to what you say? Because you get your mouth flapping so fucking fast, I can hear your gums smacking together. Like my 3-year-old child would be sitting at the table chewing with its mouth open. Okay? Me teaching my child to chew with your mouth closed. Okay? I guess mom and dad never taught you that. On that panel right there, everybody talks over everybody, and Andrew sits in the background and lets you guys take over his live. I just don't get it. I don't get what you guys get out of it. You know? All right, so we covered Dippy, the dog rescuer. Okay. Because she sure the fuck ain't a dog whisperer. Then you got Ro. Okay.
I love
She
it.
needs to go back to school and learn how to speak a little bit better. And you know, so let's get on Lips. You know, you hear about Lips, you don't hear about Lips. You hear about Lips, you don't hear about Lips. Andrew goes on his live to one night and said how Lips dropped all the, you know, left all the things. Wow. Andrew, there's plenty more. There's plenty of more fish out in that sea. I'm sure you can get another Lips. All due honesty. You know, I'm sure you can get another Lips. I'm sure you can get another Lips that lives next to a farm, that has a daytime job of milking cows or milking the bull. You know, whatever she chooses to do. You know.
Around the hodge.
But I'm sure she probably milks the bull before she milks the cow. And then, you know, you got Ro that wants to talk about weight. Like I said before, weight. So like I said, she hasn't met these women, any of these women, physically. Okay. I've seen full pictures of Mama Bear. Okay. I talk to Mama Bear. I FaceTime her probably once, twice a day. If not, probably 3-4 times a week. But we always message each other. And that's how this all started, just by me messaging Mama Bear, talking to Mama Bear. But that's done and over with. That's already water under the bridge. So that's how we came to this. Okay. You and your minions, trolls, Panda Crew, whatever you want to call them. Doesn't bother me what you call them. I'll call them your Panda Crew. Okay. You guys try to bully people. What do you get out of it? You know, it's no different than Haley doing a live the one time, and you got, you know, you're on there, Lips is on there, and whoever the fuck else is on there, and you all think that you guys can just gang up on that girl. Seriously, what gives you that right to gang up on somebody? Because you can? That's what you say all the time. Because I can. What do you get out of that? Seriously, what do you get out of that? Does it make you a bigger person? Does it make that, does that make you a better man because you can talk like that to a woman? You know, it's a shame. Because I remember when I first started doing lives with you, you weren't like that. You know, maybe a little bit here and there, but nothing like it is now. Nothing like it is now. I remember a time that, that your wife, that Elisa didn't want anything to do with this YouTube shit. Didn't want the girls to have anything to do with the YouTube shit. Now it's like everything is fine. You were not that person before. So what changed, Andrew? Because people found out what type of person you are. Let's go back that live that I was telling you about earlier that I seen. That you admitted that Hunter told you everything that happened 3 days after it happened. What else do you know? What else are you hiding? I know you're going to sit there and say on your live, while you're watching my live, that you can do what you want. Because you're the big guy. Okay? She probably don't even own a car. She's lucky if she can ride a bicycle, Connie. Seriously. So what else do you know? It's no different than Candace going on her the other night and saying, fuck you, bitch. She's alive. Okay, if she's alive, where is she? Let's go with that. Let's go with that route. If she's alive, Candace, which I'm sure, I'm almost positive that you're watching this bullshit with Andrew. Okay? I'm sure Ro is, if she's not in jail or if she's not out doing whatever, I'm not going to speculate of what she's doing. Just like Dippy, I'm not going to speculate what she's doing. She might be out there breeding with her dogs. God only knows. One thing I can tell you though about Dippy though, I don't know if any of you has noticed, but her teeth, her dogs have more teeth than she does. She's missing some. Ro, she ain't got none. She ain't got none. She don't even have dentures. And then it's like, I got some screenshots of her. Oh, shit. My God. The hairdo on that thing? Wow. Wow. So answer me one question, Andrew. I mean, it's like, come on. You know all this information. Why don't you come clean about it? What's the worst that can happen to Hunter or something if Hunter was involved? I'm just, that's my opinion. I'm just saying that, I'm not, it's an opinion. It's not a fact or anything like that. I don't have the evidence or anything like that. But what if Hunter had something to do with it? That's where your son would want you the most, would need you the most. Yeah, I know that. He's scared that they all will go down. I know that. But you want to know something? To bring justice for that little girl? Okay. You got to do a little time. So what? And just a heads up, because I don't know if they do it down in Tennessee. I know how they do it in New York. Youthful offender status. Until your age of 18. Which I don't know how it works down there, like I said. But I don't know, Andrew. I don't get it. Like I said before, I don't care that you restrain me. I don't care that you're listening. I don't care that Rose listening. I don't care if Lips is listening. I don't care if Dippy's listening. Dippy sits there and says that she's got a problem with me. She doesn't like me because of something that happened between me and Connie. That's between me and Connie. Doesn't have nothing to do with Dippy. Okay? And you get on these lives and, you have a bat. What's the bat supposed to be? Who's that for? You put a machete, a Timu machete over your shoulder, and, you know, go back and forth. What's that supposed to be?
Come on.
You know,
Fuck.
is that supposed to scare somebody? You know, is what it is. Are you supposed to, you know, are you supposed to scare somebody with that? I mean, I'm sorry. Am I supposed to be scared? I mean, I've already proved to you. I went and sat on your porch and you didn't come out of the house. I offered you many times. I've asked you to meet me 2 blocks up, 2 blocks down. Come on. Meet me at Stewart's. Let's have a cup of coffee. Let's discuss this like men. You know, you call yourself a man, but you don't want to talk like a man. You want to, and that's the way I look at it. You hide in front of your camera.
Baby. Sorry, I had to listen.
Because you don't know how to handle confrontation.
I would not.
Okay.
I have to dry my hands with a cigarette.
Tammy, you got to give Cattle King a wrench.
I was looking for food. What food?
You know, but you know, who do you intimidate when you do that? Seriously.
No, I asked
You think I get?
you know how to make it.
See,
Pasta.
I got one too.
Fuck anymore other than for yourself?
You want to go play baseball? Softball?
I don't want to fucking hear
What
it.
do you want to do?
I
You
don't.
want to play golf?
Whatever.
Because listen, I can put a golf ball anywhere in that golf course with a bat. Anywhere. Trust and believe. But just remember my wish list, guys. Just remember my
What
wish
did I
list.
miss?
Because I got a deck I got to build. And I need that tote to put all my screws and my hangers and everything in.
Yeah, because we're retarded.
Okay. I need that. And I only want a yellow one or a clear one, doesn't matter. But I need duct tape, black plastic, and bags of concrete with that tote. Okay.
Sounds
I
like a
don't need
murder
no
list.
rope or anything like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't here. I am now.
But yeah, that's the tote's just for my things that I need, you know, to keep the screws and stuff in. But yeah, eventually it's all going to come out. I mean, it's just sad
Blah,
that
blah, blah.
you know, it took this many years for, you know, I don't know,
This many years for what? Nothing?
maybe eventually, maybe it will come out. Maybe it'll come out sooner than later.
Maybe not.
You know, you got to understand something, Andrew.
What?
And I'll say it right here.
What?
I have a lot of family that's in law enforcement. I have a lot of family that knows a lot of people.
That's nice.
Just like I know people that are in the parole office, you know, they've had this job for many, many years. So I think if I really want to run names, I can run names.
So
I can always get a hold of certain people and have names around. So I can get information on a lot of people.
Go ahead. We don't care.
Oh, you're on your way to Harbor Freight now, Cattle King? Okay, look at that yellow tote for me. Preferably like anywhere from like a 33 gallon to 30, maybe 45 gallon. Because the deck is going to be pretty big. And the holes for the 4x4s are going to be pretty deep. If you're going to Harbor Freight, I don't know how far a Home Depot or Lowe's is, but let me know what the bag of concretes are, because they're probably about the same price. I'm not ready to go to Lowe's yet tonight. I'm in the process of doing this, but if you're going out, I'd greatly appreciate it if you did that for me, my friend. You know, so I mean, I don't get it with you guys, Andrew. Honestly,
You don't need to get it.
It really is. It's sad. It really is. I wouldn't give a fuck if it was my kid or my grandmother. I'd want to know. You know, my grandparents are gone, but I know why they're gone, you know. Just give me a price on both. I mean, the one on wheels would be good. That way I could, you know, pull it in and out, you know. Or if I had to go a long distance with it or something like that, at least I'd have wheels to where, you know, I could wheel it out to where I had to go. Oh, and see if you can, if you're going into Home Depot or Lowe's, you know those fucking post hole diggers? See if you can get a price on one of those too for me. Because next time, you know, next time you guys come up, I might have a deck for us to do too. So just let me know when you guys are coming up. Kindness and honesty is free. You are absolutely right. Andrew, I'm very glad you came up. Very nice of you. Took you a while. What's the get? The IE and the TBI know what has been said. Okay. Sit there and say that you don't know anything when there's lives out there that actually state that you do, and you have admitted that you do. You know, that's the only thing. I'm not, listen, by all means, I'm not being disrespectful or anything like that, Andrew. So you can come on back up. You know, but there's lives out there that you've done that you know, like I said earlier, that one particular live that I watched, you state that you've known, you knew 3 days after it was done. Yes, you know what your son has told you. But why do a live about it? Why not go to somebody that is handling the case? You know, what is Hunter? Munch, what about visitors on Wednesday? Visitors on Wednesday. Sure. Why not? With the information that you know, Andrew, why don't you go and talk to somebody about it? Perfect example, Andrew. Being that I'm in recovery, okay? One thing that I'm learning in this recovery process is journaling. It's like taking notes. There's stuff on your mind that you write down.
Nope.
Because you don't want to forget that. And then a couple hours later, a couple days later, you can go back and read and see what makes sense. By all means, Andrew, you're not stupid. I know you're not. I'm not talking about Hunter. I'm talking about you as an adult being a father to your son with the information that you know. That's what I'm getting at. You know, you're not going to sit here. You can't sit here and tell me that Hunter has only spoken to you once, you know, about all that. You know, I understand that he was young. Maybe he was scared. Maybe somebody else was scared. We don't know. You know, the only thing I can say, you know, I mean, honestly, Andrew, if you really think about it, it's all gonna, it's gonna come out eventually.
I have a spelling problem. Forget that.
Bella!
Andrew, I understand that. I did as my son asked me and nothing more.
Here.
I would probably do the same for my son. But I would also sit my son down and tell him, listen, if this happened, you have to pay the consequences. Whether or not he did anything wrong to that child or not, Andrew, he knows something. He knows something that can bring
Channel.
peace
Is it
to all
channel?
of us.
Is it CHALL?
Because you, as a father, okay, you as a father, Andrew, would want the same thing.
Oh my God, we're all.
If that was your child that was missing. That is one thing you cannot disagree with me on.